So, here I am, back from the hospital in my own home, in my chair. It's a great chair, it's electric. Can sit it up and down on my own. As you can tell, I don't look too healthy right now because I'm very sick from the surgery. Still, I'm having a hard time healing. It leaves you short of breath, and I have to hug this pillow because when I put this arm down, just the one arm, it hurts. And I'm finding a lot of the pain is really muscle pain from all the ribs being realigned in new spots from the sternum being moved. It's been 7 days since my surgery. I came home yesterday. The ferry was excruciating to travel home on in a car. It was like a 3.5 hour trip home from the hospital, and it was very painful. But I did it. I had it. I don't know how to show you this without showing you too much, but hold on. Let me see if I can cover myself enough that I can show you. My dip, it is gone. There's my incision marks. Here's a better view of the incision. Maybe not. Incisions there. There's the camera. There's the other one. And yeah, there's like a slight dip, but it's nothing compared to what it was. And it's not just there, like my upper chest is fixed like it used to dent in, and now it's like round and barrel chested, and yeah, so I'm on pills. I don't know what they are. And they help for the most part, but I still have severe muscle spasms, and I have to sleep in this chair, I have to sleep in a certain position. It hurts, like even now my pillow's not where it should be, so now it's starting to hurt. I gotta put it back. So painful. If I had known this is painful, I don't know if I would have decided the same thing. Probably though, it was worth it in the long run, but this part right now is really hard. Really, really hard. It's very painful. More painful than anything you can imagine. I've given birth 3 times with no medication, naturally, and this hurt a million times worse than that, like a million times worse. It's just a pain that doesn't go away, doesn't end. They have a hard time finding medication to help. The epidural is supposed to help, and in my case, the epidural stopped working, and then had to be taken out because it was causing excruciating pain in the site that it was put in my back. So I ended up feeling more pain than you would normally because the epidural was taken out like 4 days before it should have been. So I had to feel all this pain that most people don't have to feel because they're numb from the epidural, and I couldn't be. So that in itself probably made a difference for me than it would for other people that have had it done. But doing good. Every day it does get better. I mean, it's day 7 and I'm home and I'm sitting here talking. I couldn't have done that a few days ago. I'm short of breath right now, and I was way more short of breath back then. And one of the keys I found is doing your breathing exercises. It helps with the shortness of breath. It helps with the muscle cramps. That's all you gotta do. Deep breaths and let it out, and it helps stretch your muscles or something, and it really helps stop the spasms, and it helps you get proper breath air again, and it prevents pneumonia as well. I have like this breathing device that you can use, and it helps You don't have to use it. You can do just like I showed you, or you put this in and you go. And the goal is to make that little ball float up to this little smiley face in the middle. It's hard to see, it's backwards. This smiley face in the middle. And then hold up for as long as you can. I can get up to the 2000. I could barely get up to the 1000, which that's how long you can pull the breath of air in for. And so you get stronger by using that. I stopped using it after the epidural fell out because I was in so much pain, and it just made it worse. Another thing is you have to get 3 needles a day, and so look at my arms from it. They're just brutalized, and those are to prevent blood clots. So each one of them feels like, hurts to lift my arm like that. It's like a bee sting. That's what it feels like. It stings going in. It stings after. You can feel like the poison or whatever. I don't know if you can see that arm. It's harder, but you can kind of see. Oh, there you go. All the bruising. It's bad. Wow. Even I didn't realize it was that bad till I see it now in this video. Because I swear they put that part of your arm so it hides it, so you don't see it. Because it's brutal, those needles. I don't like needles to begin with, though. Yeah, I've been on tons of pain medication, more than probably the average person, trying to get under control. And it helps to an extent, but really the breathing exercises help more. Make sure you walk to prevent blood clots once you're home and you're not on those needles especially. It hurts to shift in the chair, to sit up. Oh, one thing I didn't expect, the most excruciating part of this after it's done, other than the first few days of healing, is coughing. If you can hear, listen. I have this crackle, and it gets to the point where I have to cough it out, and it's from lying down. That's what causes pneumonia, is that fluid settles from lying a lot. And if I cough that out, if I'm not very careful, it's excruciating pain in your chest. My doctor said it's like nerve damage pain, but it's along where the bar goes inside my chest that hurts in that vicinity, and it feels like fire. It's the best thing I can describe it as, like fire. Or if you've given birth, the ring of fire and the baby's actually coming out, it feels like that, only worse, inside your chest while you're coughing, and it radiates for a few moments after you're done. Unless you can manage to cough gently, like, and get it out carefully. But sometimes the cough just comes on fast because a piece of the phlegm will get stuck and you don't have time to stop it, and you're just shot into this excruciating pain all of a sudden. I never expected that about this whole thing, and so that was a real unpleasant surprise for me. But a trick to that is coughing lightly when you can, getting the chunks of mucus out if you can, which is hard to do when you're coughing lightly. Doing your breathing exercises because it helps loosen it and loosen the phlegm. And then you take a pillow when you cough and you hold it against your chest with both your arms very firmly. I tried this the first few times, not firm enough, and it didn't do a thing. But then I tried it a couple more times later. It's hard to talk for a long time, so I have to end this video pretty quick. But a couple more times while holding the pillow firmly. So one hand is wrapped on one rib and one on the other with the pillow in between. And you press firmly without hurting yourself as you do the cough. And it helps with the pain because it stops your ribs from shooting forward as you cough. Good posture is also important. Keep your posture after the surgery. You can feel it push on your sternum, the bar, more. And it also will help you have a better shape later when the bar is removed. And it helps with your breathing, and it helps with the pain, just to allow your chest to fully expand with air when you breathe and stuff. I don't know if I can think of anything else. These are just things that I noticed that I didn't see in any other videos, so that's why I'm sharing them as opposed to details you've probably already heard on other videos. So I thought I'd stick with some new information that I didn't know about that I've learned. if you can at all, do it close to home. The surgery traveling, I I thought I was going to die coming home. It was awful. I almost called the first aid people on the ferry because at one point I tried to walk to the bathroom from the car and I shouldn't have, and my chest spasmed at the same time as my back, and all the seats were full. I couldn't sit down, and I couldn't breathe because they were both spasming at the same time, and I couldn't get a breath of air. To resolve this issue, I ended up pressing my back against a wall, which was the only thing that was available with no seats around, and leaning against it really hard and taking some long, deep breaths until I could get a hold of my breath again. And once I got a hold of my breath again, um, it made it so I could get on the elevator and go back down to the car. Getting in and out of the car, awful, awful. And you have to be very, very careful. You can't twist or turn. You can't use other people to hold you while you're getting in. You can have them there so you can grab onto them because you need to use your own arm strength and only your arm strength, not anything else other than your legs, because you can't pull against your arms too high or else it pulls your rib cage. You can't twist or it could twist your bar. It's just like it is so hard, harder than I ever thought. But once I'm healed, I know I'll look back and be glad I did it. I am glad I did it even now, but this is not what I expected. I didn't expect it to be worse than childbirth, I guess. And so that's where the big shocker was for me, was to be worse than childbirth is like unreal to me. Um, like not just a little bit worse, like a million times worse. Um, but for me, in my case, my heart had a leaking valve and I needed it. It wasn't cosmetic, and I swear if you guys are considering doing it for cosmetic, you might really want to think about it, because I wouldn't have ever done this for cosmetic, especially even now knowing. If I would have done it before, now knowing I wouldn't now. But for health reasons, if it's going to benefit you, help your breathing later, if you have a leaking valve, if it's causing you pain, mine was causing me pain all the time, then yeah, it'll be worth this short-lived pain for the benefits later. But um, right now, I would say not to do it just purely for cosmetic. The doctor showed me an internal picture of myself because there were cameras in my body cavity when he did the surgery. He took a picture of my heart being squished by my sternum. I wish I had them to share with you. And he took a picture of it after the bar was in, and there was almost a 3-inch gap between my sternum and my heart when he was done, and before, my heart was deformed. It was so squashed by my sternum. So to see the before and after of what he's done, just as far as my health of my heart, makes it worth it. It really does, and it helps me get through each day up till now, because it's really hard. And so to just know that you did it for a good reason and that it's getting better every day, um, helps you endure the pain up until you can move around and be normal somewhat again. And so yeah, this is my video, my number 5 or 6, I'm not sure. The one I made in the hospital didn't really work out that great, and so I thought I'd make one now that I'm home and I'm able to breathe a bit better and talk a bit better, and I'm having a good moment right now. There's moments where I couldn't talk still now, but right now I'm doing okay. I'm in between meds, and I thought I'd share. So I hope you enjoy. I hope I've helped inform you of some stuff. Bye bye. Till next time. I'll keep you updated as I progress. Bye.